Today is the 28th day of the first month, the 10th year of Channel Group, February 28, 2022. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. Chanjin Champu Munimke, Kyongbe, Baro. Let us recite the family pledge. Number 1, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to seek a regional homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation, by centering on true love. 2, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and true parents. We pledge to perfect the beautiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. 3, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. 4, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to build the universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the Heavenly Parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. 5, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. 6, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the Heavenly Parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. 7, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect the world based on the culture of heart, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. 8, our family, the honor of Channel Group, pledges, having entered the era of Channel Group, to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love.
To offer us the opening prayer, may I call on our brother Vincent Ayunting to offer the prayer.
Okay, brothers and sisters, please join me in prayer. Our loving Heavenly Father and our victorious true parents of heaven, earth, of all humankind. Once again, Heavenly Parents, I would like to express our deepest gratitude, Heavenly Parents, especially this life that you given to us, Heavenly Parents, once again, Heavenly Parents. As today, Heavenly Parents, as we receive this life, we're hoping, Heavenly Parents, that we can use this in the right way, Heavenly Parents. That for today, whatever circumstances, challenges that we may encounter, Heavenly Parents, still our heart is grateful, Heavenly Parents. And also, Heavenly Parents, thank you so much also for all the blessings, graces that you given to us, Heavenly Parents. Physical food and spiritual food, Heavenly Parents. As today, Heavenly Parents, as we do our morning devotion, Heavenly Parents, we're hoping, Heavenly Parents, that all over brothers and sisters all over the world, Heavenly Parents, who can hear our morning devotion, Heavenly Parents, hoping that we can realize, Heavenly Parents, we can learn, heavenly parents. We can apply, heavenly parents, whatever our topic, heavenly parents, or our guidance for today, heavenly parents. And also, heavenly parents, we really invite your divine presence to be with us, to join us in our morning devotion for this moment, heavenly parents, for this time, heavenly parents. And also, heavenly parents, thank you so much also for all the protection and all the guidance, heavenly parents. And also, heavenly parents, we feel sorry also sometimes for all limitations, shortcomings, heavenly parents, hoping, heavenly parents, that as we little by little, heavenly parents, as we here stay more, as we train more ourselves, heavenly parents, hoping that we can really practice more, heavenly parents, on how to become more matured, heavenly parents. And also, heavenly parents, hoping through this morning devotion, heavenly parents, each one of us, heavenly parents, hoping that we can learn something, heavenly parents, and we can apply it, heavenly parents. Thank you once again, heavenly parents, for all the love and care, heavenly parents, all the guidance and protection. And heavenly parents, thank you. All these things I'd like to offer in behalf of my brothers and sisters. In true parents' name we pray. True.
True. Okay, let's offer our individual prayer. Aju, Aju, Aju. Okay, let's offer our good morning greetings to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning, God and true parents, to our leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. Let's offer our good morning greetings. Good morning, everyone. So to start our day, so before anything else, I would like to introduce first myself. I'm Yasil Kadile, and I am your MC for today. So for our Hunduki reading, may I call on one of the team leader here in NLTP? May I call on Miss Abigail Estayani to read us the Hunduki reading.
Good morning, Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning to all leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. Now, for the Hunduk reading from the Book of Our True Mother, Mother of Peace, a memoir by Hak Jahan Moon. Chapter 10, The Challenge of Realizing a Heavenly World. In Africa, the plight of many remains bleak. Despite abundant natural resources and wondrous scenic beauty, poverty is rampant. Nevertheless, Africans are kind, compassionate, and diligent. God has called the peoples of Africa to shine as bright, immutable, heavenly creations. Africans make me feel the heart of our Creator, our Heavenly Parent, the Mother Nation. Whenever we hold an event at our Chongpyong complex in Korea, thousands of Japanese unificationists participate. I'm always concerned because incredible logistical support is necessary to welcome and host anywhere from 3,000 to more than 6,000 members at this site, our original spiritual homeland. But from their side, Japanese members feel it is a joy to visit their spiritual homeland of Korea. They treasure prayer at holy grounds, such as Bumnetgol in Busan, where Father Moon built his first church out of discarded military ration boxes and mud. They value the Chongpadong headquarters church. For many, it is a once in a lifetime opportunity and honor. The sight of thousands of debut Japanese members coming to Korea provides a glimpse of a great spiritual wave that I believe will bring positive change to Asia. Asia is considered the continent of the future for many reasons, one of which is that it is where the unification movements, revival, and expansion are most dynamic. Japan was the second country in which the unification movement developed. Mission work began in dramatic fashion when, in July 1958, missionary Choi Bong-chun boarded a ship in Busan headed for Japan. His mission work was an endless marathon of hardships. Entering the country without a proper visa, he was arrested and in- incarcerated, then hospitalized. Finally, gaining his freedom, Mr. Choi broke through when at 7:15 p.m. on October 2, 1959 in a crumbling attic in Tokyo. He led the first public unification church of Japan Sunday service. Over the 60 years since then, the unification church has expanded throughout Japan. Nonetheless, theirs has been a tortuous course. Accusations of being a cult were incessant and ferocious opposition from Japanese communists arose in reaction to our victory over communism activities. When several celebrities participated in our marriage blessing ceremony, some in Japan felt threatened by the expansion of our movement, and they fiercely opposed us in the media. For decades, my husband could not enter Japan. Some of our beloved members even lost their lives. A major assault on religious liberty was allowed when Japanese authorities turned a blind eye to criminals kidnapping our members, holding them captive until they renounce their faith and even committing them to mental hospitals. Despite such hardships, the unification movement in Japan has grown steadily, and the society now is recognizing the wrongness of such treatment. Our movement is a shining light of Japanese society. It also has sent thousands of missionaries throughout the world. They have invested themselves wholeheartedly in teaching the divine principle and serving local communities. Prior to the 1990s, two groups of Korean immigrants living in Japan shunned each other over ideological differences. They coalesced into two organizations. Mindan, the Product Democracy Korean Residents Union in Japan, and Chongryon, the, the Pro-Pyongyang General Association of Korean Residents in Japan. The fact that citizens belonging to the same Korean people separate themselves from each other like water and oil was a great shame. As we engage in victory over communism activities, we forge ties even with Chongryon and invited its members to visit South Korea. Initially, they viewed us the suspicion, but when they saw the Initially, sila. Okay. The fact that citizens belonging to the same Korean people separate themselves from each other like water and oil was a great shame. As we engage in victory over communism activities, we forged ties even with Chongryon and invited its members to visit South Korea. Initially, they viewed us with suspicion, but when they saw the sincerity of our offer, they joined the tours. Many among them eventually distanced themselves from communism. In the summer of 2018, at the same Saitama Super Arena in Tokyo, we held the rally of hope and resolved to advance God's providence in heavenly Japan to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Japanese movement. During my address, I called Japan and Korea to go forward hand in hand for the sake of the future. I exhorted the two nations to unite in heart and complete the Korea-Japan undersea tunnel linking the two nations and the world through the International Peace Highway. Since the 1990s, Aju.
Drew, thank you so much, Ate Abby, for reading us the Hunduke message. So now, let's hear the 10 points of gratitude. May I call on our beloved, one of the NLTP leader also, our brother Jomar Damiano.
Narinig po ba ako?
Yes po.
Hello po.
Yes, we can hear you.
Po. Thank you po. Okay, pinag attitude. I am thankful and grateful to God and your parents for giving me various experience so that I can overcome them. Two, I am thankful and grateful to God, my ancestors work with me and on my responsibility. Three, I am thankful and grateful to my leaders, especially to Sir Francis and Mami Italia for standing up for us and how taught us all the things that I will be good to, for us and educating us on our habit, and we are always reminded to all of our behavior or responsibility. For I am thankful and grateful to the one who invited me. Because of this, I was received divine principle because all the question I used to ask myself have been answered. 5. I am thankful and grateful to my brother and sister because I have different behavior and I have learned how to get along with them. 6. I am I am thankful and grateful to my parents for trusting me and for supporting me no matter what I plan to do. 7. I am thankful and grateful I was with those who were with me in the talyer who taught me how to fix a broken car. 8. I am thankful and grateful in the process. Sorry. Okay. 8. I am thankful and grateful I experienced the front line because in the front line, I learned especially how I can overcome myself somehow, how I can stand everything, and how I learn to determine more. 8. I am thankful and grateful because I experienced being able to go abroad and meet my true mother. 9. I am thankful and grateful because I with those who were with me in the talyer who taught me how to fix a broken car. And last 10, I am thankful and grateful in the process of my matching. Maybe that's all. Thank you so much po.
Yes, thank you so much, Kuya Jomar, for sharing us your 10 points of gratitude. Now to prepare ourselves to receive our Hundoki guidance. So may I request to give us the offering song, our beloved and very dynamic and energetic leader, Mr. Seruel Galit.
I'm trying to hold my breath. Let you stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You said I'm dreaming, getting out and out. Can't you hear it echoing? You take my hand, will shake you so in. There's no day without you. Oh, shine of a thousand spotlights, all the stars are steal from the night sky. Will never be enough. You'll never be enough. Towers of gold, there's still too little. These hands can hold the world, but it will never be enough. You'll never be enough. Shine of a thousand spotlights, all the stars we dream of the night sky will never be enough. You'll never be enough. That was the goal, there's still too little. These hands can hold the world, but it will never be enough. You'll never be enough.
Yes, thank you so much. So let's give a warm of applause to our Sir Ruel for giving us that very amazing and very powerful song. So now ourselves is set and prepared for now as we receive the guidance and our spiritual food for this day. So may I call on and let's welcome with a warm of applause our beloved national leader, Mr. Reverend Leo Angelo Halog.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yasel. I would like to offer my greetings first to our beloved Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning, our beloved Heavenly Parent and true parents. To all our beloved leaders who are joining us, all the Chondo families, the Central families, and beloved brothers and sisters. Good morning to everyone. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Welcome once again to our morning devotion. Thank you very much to our NLTP family for hosting today's morning devotion, and thank you to our brother Ruel for that very powerful and truly inspiring opening song this morning. Truly never enough. We need to work harder in the providence, especially this time that really our true mother is investing everything until the day that kingdom of heaven will be realized on earth. So really always never enough. Thank you, Brother Ruel, for reminding us. And also thank you for the 10 points of gratitude shared to us today, this morning. Today I will going to share with you still from True Mother's book. I will be sharing from part 5, Educating the Second Generation and Training Future Leaders. Chapter 1, the need to educate the younger generation. The second generation should be trained to lead the providence. So let us study together. Yesterday, I'm grateful to the families who joined in the parental guidance. I think also I listened even though traveling yesterday, but it was a beautiful lecture presented, especially, as parents, how we should, educate our children also, and how can we have quality second generation, many things that was discussed that was very, very important yesterday in the parental guidance. I hope for the coming parental guidance schedule again, I think there will be 2 more this year. Please I encourage all Placenta families, and especially those who are about to start their family. Yeah, it was very, very important. So I'm thinking yesterday, if I know from very beginning, I could really prepare well and do more. I've done maybe greater things if we know these things from very beginning when we started family. It was very, very important points that was discussed yesterday. So I encourage all of us families. So today I'm going to share with you this topic of True Mother. The second generation should be trained to lead the providence. Mother said, we need to cultivate our second generation members. After True Father Songhua was that we must move forward without stopping. And I said that I would realize channel group before my life ends. To bring that about, we need to cultivate our second generation members. We have a tremendous foundation in that there are more than 500 people with doctorate degrees in the Unification Church. That is why I recently created an academic center. It would not be exaggeration to say that we developed rapidly in our early days through CARP, which sets us apart from other churches. What that means is that our intellectual level was college level. So really, also we could see now True Mother continuously, telling us the importance of really raising our second generation. This is really our responsibility, especially as parents, starting from our own children. And then as they go to the community, our second generation, that's why environment is very important. really, because even how much we do, of course, very important, most important is really in our own homes, in our own families, raising up our children, and then as they go through the community, that's why we have to work hard to really prepare the community for them, our young generations. So mother really made the determination, after true father passed on to the spiritual world, that she will going to realize channel group before her life ends. This is true mother's determination. That's why every moment, we cannot imagine true mother's life trying to complete everything, especially as true mother's aging, right? She's now 79 years old. She's doing her best to be healthy and, to be strong. She wanted to accomplish this, true mother wanted to fulfill this before her life ends. So together with all of us, true mother said, we have tremendous foundation. There are more than 500 people with doctorate degree in the Unification Church. So I really, hope many also of our second generation in the Philippines. We have some, some Jacob's children. They have already doctorate degrees. It's really amazing, how to raise up our young generations, cultivating all their talents, their abilities, and really train them to become, the future that will going to lead our movement. Now already many are in the leadership position, so we have to continue raise them up, and really we could see great future, for not only for our movement but for the world. So mother said, mother's talking about carp. I remember in 2018 in Nepal, during the Asia Pacific Summit in Nepal, and then when True Mother arrived that time, I also had the opportunity to join to welcome True Mother. And then that time, True Mother talks about carp to expand and really, go to top universities. True Mother mentioned that time. So in the early days, really through carp, we developed rapidly. Mother is telling us, and then also that was the time. Also in 2018, True Mother is reminding us. So of course, because of pandemic, face-to-face classes stopped. We just can do through online, but now slowly, and then through our president this time, our Kuya Angel, Kuya Angelito, now starting to meet the CARP alumni, and really, I think we are again opening the way. And then when the classes now will go to face to face, and then we have to really set up many CARP centers, especially in top universities. This is the heart and the desire of our beloved True Mother, really, because educated people, they can contribute a lot, and then they can really do well. That's why really very important what Mother is telling us today. Mother said that we need to work more actively in college campuses. We need to work more actively in college campuses, both to train capable people for the future and also to witness to the students. In addition to college campuses, we should also thoroughly educate middle and high school students, since we have already created an environment to do so. The Sunhack Educational Foundation has a high standard. Every school in it, including the kindergarten and middle and high schools, is prestigious. In the future, all of our schools should be brought together under a single organization so that we can create a comprehensive educational system. Then we will be able to teach them about true parents as part of the curriculum. So ultimately, why true parents establish schools, right? Actually, all people needs to know true parents. This is the reality. True parents is the center. They are the embodiment of Heavenly Parent. That's why our schools should really teach true parents, right? Without teaching true parents, like what is the meaning of having our schools? Of course, we need to teach them character education, but people without really going to the core, that's why the divine principle needs to know by people. For people to be, emerged fully to our movement and really have that great passion to move forward, whatever challenges and difficulties, without understanding the divine principle. And then Mother said, only through learning the divine principle that people can know true parents. That's why our schools, we have to always remember what is the main purpose, why true parents have established schools, to teach true parents. That's why now, true mothers, leadership now, she organized very well. Only one foundation is handling all these educational institutions that we have, so that we can have only one comprehensive educational system. Now we are working with the government, right, in the Philippines also. That's why we would like to support one party list who is in education this time, because we wanted not only in our own schools, but this educational system, the teachings of true parents can be inculcated, or can enter to our educational system in the country, so that people can started to learn the character education, and then going through deeper the divine principle, they can understand, they can learn, and then ultimately they will going to know true parents, Aju, who is the center. Really, later on in the future, all schools will going to learn and study about true parents. In the future, everybody needs to know true parents. They are the savior. They are the ones who completed the purpose of creation. They are the ones who changed the course of history, right? From sinful history, they are the ones who changed that, and then really creating the heavenly tradition that all humanity, the original ideal of heavenly parent, started from them. That's why all people from generation to generation will going to learn and study about true parents. That's why yung mga schools natin ngayon, they are playing a very important role. Aju? So that's why Mother is emphasizing here, we need to work more actively in college campuses. So that's why slowly we are doing now. Also, with really our youth organization, our IAYSP, especially with CARP. That's why kapag may face-to-face na po ulit, we have to really strengthen. Many second generations now are studying in top universities in the country. So we have to establish CARP in those universities. And so that, we are fighting against communism in the Philippines. But if we have, very few CARP centers in areas, that's why, especially in campuses which has strong, communist groups, dapat dito yung mga areas talaga na meron tayong CARP talaga. So that, people can, can learn and listen and know and distinguish clearly. And, they can say that really communist is, evil, and that they can avoid if we have CARP teaching them this, especially these potential young people. That's why Mother is telling us, reminding us to work more actively in college campuses. Mother said, I am in a position where I must take full responsibility for the present reality. True Father began many projects based on both spiritual and practical considerations. It is my responsibility to bring them all under control, to organize them well, and to refine them. There are so many things for us to do in following the Word. Unfortunately, however, when it comes to those who should lead the Unification Church in the future, we have failed to fulfill our responsibility. We have allowed many second-generation members to drift away. I am in a position where I must take full responsibility for the present reality. My position is not an easy one, as I need to deal with issues both on the inside and the outside. It is easy to build a new house. In contrast, fixing, repairing, and improving an old house that used to be occupied takes twice as much effort and money. That is the job I have taken on. Therefore, each and every one of you should help me out by fulfilling your given responsibility. That's why, in Japan, they have made a group of, reaching out only second generation. This is their focus. They have really created, and then now they could revive many of the second generation. In Japan alone, there are around 70,000 second generation. That's why if they just focus on raising, reviving the second generation, then connect them all to our movement, really amazing our movement in Japan will be, right? Just our own second generation, because they have this big number of our second generation in Japan. So that's why now they created one committee, one group of only focusing in reaching out, and reviving our second generation. That's why, in the Philippines, we have our NBCC. They're really doing well, through Kuya Victor, their conferences, workshops. Many of our second generations now are being connected. Some areas because of also internet connections, not so easy. But yeah, really, we have this good way already in the Philippines. We just need to continue and educate them more and raise them more to really take responsibility. Truly, True Mother is so much concern to our second generation. That's why True Mother is really the ones actually taking the most difficult and challenging position and responsibility. That's why Mother said here, I am in a position where I must take full responsibility for the present reality. True Mother is asking us, especially the leaders, the first generation, to help True Mother fulfilling our given responsibility. That's why we have to really continue to do our best. What True Mother is doing now is like, repairing the old house that takes, twice effort than, building a new one. So it's not easy what True Mother is doing. But really, if we unite with True Mother and really fulfill our responsibility, really understanding how important really the future is, that the future lies with our second generation, our young generations. That's why True Mother, because we failed in our responsibility, the first generations, in raising but now, we are truly grateful to True Mother. Our leadership now, a lot of educational programs now are being done, being carried on, raising up our second generations, also educating the first generation, the parents, how to raise up our second generation. Very amazing era now where we are living in. That's why mga young couples ngayon, you have really the great opportunity to, to conceive really quality second generation. Kasi hindi lang importante, of course, ngayon, we are raising them up, but now we are learning from the time of conception. If we wanted to really have great children, great second generation, to prepare very well. Kaya very important our young couples now also to attend, all this education. A lot of educational materials now are being given for us to really prepare well and have quality second generation. And from the very beginning, we know how to do. We can raise them up very well. Really become the exemplary young people, leaders in the future. Our second generation, Aju, truly amazing time. An era where we are living in now. It's because of our beloved true parents, true mothers, tremendous investment and sacrifices, right? Mother said, we have failed to dedicate our second generation members to God. It is important to witness to new members, but we have failed to dedicate our own second generation members to God. Whose responsibility is this? As parents and as those who are in charge during this age, this is something we should be ashamed of. Yeah, really, this is, that's why True Mother, this time, that's why many times True Mother, really, this is, our failure, raising them up. That's why many of our second generation from many nations, they left, they couldn't connect to our movement because we really failed to raise them up, to dedicate them to our Heavenly Parent. This is our responsibility. That's why True Mother is telling us. But, despite those things, True Mother is still, encouraging us, and True Mother have shown us the way how to do it. True Mother have, invested everything to be able to really focus on raising up our children, our young generations, our second generations, third generations, right? So we are truly grateful to our beloved True Mother. So through just uniting with True Mother and really fulfilling our responsibility, then we can really raise up the future. And then True Mother really wanted to really raise them up to lead our movement, to lead the world, right? This is what True Mother wanted. So that's why we have to help True Mother by fulfilling our responsibilities as leaders, as parents. This is a very important task that is given to us. Mother said, once the decision had been made, I felt so much lighter in my heart. That is why I had to ask True Father for his consent about something. I plan to send sell the helicopter he used. If I don't use it, there's no one to use it. Any machine, especially something like an airplane or a helicopter, will quickly deteriorate if left unused. It will become useless even faster than an unused car. That is why I made the report to True Father. I told him that I will sell it and use the money as a scholarship fund for training leaders and second generation members worldwide for the coming age. Then he told me, please go ahead if that is what you want to do. Once that decision had been made, I felt so much lighter in my heart. So really, after Father passed on to the spiritual world, True Mother, immediately thought of really how to, invest and raise up our second generation. So True Mother, asked Father to sell the helicopter, because also True Mother really, if Mother said if I will not use it, then it will just deteriorate more than it will just deteriorate. Better use it well, right? So True Mother decided and asked Father. Father agreed. So Mother used this. Also that's the time. Also UPA came. Many the One More Foundation. Giving scholarship. Already how many thousands already of second generations, right? Received scholarship from True Mother from this fund that was generated through the sale of our helicopter that True Parents use. So now many of our second generation even graduated, who became scholars of True Mother, and even UPA now many. And then we could expand continuously these programs because of really True Mother's investment. Really amazing, raising up our future. They have to really become really the best in many fields, right? That can in the future people will going to be amazed about True Parents works and efforts, even now already, right? But in the future, all people already are going to just honor and really be grateful to our beloved True Parents. Yeah, so True Mother made this decision. So Mother said, the way for you to witness to others is by revealing True Father to them. Nonetheless, now that I am about to sell it, it hurts me to think that I am unable to preserve it for all eternity. We have all failed to fulfill our responsibility. Still, I wish to let this nation and the entire world know about True Father and show heaven how quickly the Unification Church can grow. Once I had made this resolution, I felt that there was no need to put it off any longer. What I earnestly ask of you is that if you truly believe in True Father as the Lord of the Second Advent, the Messiah, the King of Kings, and the true Emperor with holiness and virtue, you should testify to him and to his achievements in front of others. The way for you to witness to others is by revealing True Father to them. Really, we should be very proud. Mother said we need to be proud of True Parents. So when you are proud of something or of someone, you always talk about that whenever you witness to, or whenever you mingle with other people. Diba, when you are proud of your parents, always you talk about parents. When you are really proud of something, you always talk to them. So when we are proud of True Parents, we always tell them. Whenever we meet new people, we tell them about True Parents. We tell them about True Parents' achievements, right? So Mother is telling us the way to witness to others is by revealing True Father to them. Telling them, how much True Father have sacrificed. We always tell them about True Father's sacrifice in Hungnam prison, all these things that, True Father have done, all the sacrifices, together with True Mother. Really, even without telling them about our philosophy or, about this, movement, but just to tell them about the achievements of True Parents. How True Father, True Mother have lived their life, sacrificing for other people, right? Their work to end communism, right? Otherwise, we cannot live in freedom this time, if not because of True Parents. All their achievements. Really, this is the way Mother's telling us to witness, telling them. So that's why True Mother told us we need to be proud of True Parents. Once we are proud of them, naturally, we will always speak about them. We will always tell people about them whenever we meet. Whoever, new people we meet, we encounter, always we tell them about True Parents. Aju, so this is the way to witness. Really amazing. True parents, they are the substantial manifestation of Heavenly Parent. They're the substantial manifestation of true love, who sacrifice, who have lived for the sake of others more than anyone in history. More than anyone. All throughout human history, no one could live such a life of sacrifice as true parents did. Aju, that's why we have to be very, very proud. And then naturally, we will always tell people about true parents, about their life, about their achievements, how great they are. Aju, truly amazing, these words of true mother. Mother said, we need to train talented people who can take responsibility for the future. I have said that henceforth, I will place more importance on the second generation. To make sure that the results of your past efforts were not in vain, we need to train talented people who can take responsibility for the future. I stated that I will sell the helicopter and use the money to create a scholarship foundation in order to train your second generation as leaders. Of course, I have already received permission from True Father. So that's why True Mother did all these things. Just purposely to really train talented people who can take responsibility for the future. Aju, so our second generation, our young generations, they cannot be inferior from others, right? In terms of especially of education, right? They actually need to receive the highest education. That's why in America they have the West Point. This is the place where they educate, the top leaders of the country, not only of their country, but for the world. Many, even in the Philippines, many who became presidents, like Fidel Ramos, they went to West Point. So this is the high. So as true parents, the Messiah, our young generations, they need to receive the highest, even higher than West Point, highest education, not only intellectually, holistic education, mentally, spiritually. This is what true parents is doing. But not only also spiritually, but really the best in all field, the best in all aspect, more than West Point, right? That's why our educational institutions also, our goal is to really raise up our young generations, young people, to become the young people that true parents desire, not based on our own concept of what a leader should be, but based on true parents' concept of what a leader should be for the future. Aju, truly amazing, our true parents. That's why they established many schools worldwide. Now, especially in Korea, they established UPA. Even now in Sanmun, we have UPA there. Truly amazing. And then directly True Mother is guiding these programs, right? That's why it's really good if we can send many of our young generation, our second generation, even first generation, to study in Sanmun University. So we need to always make goal. This time already, we need to send there. We need to plan ahead, right? So really, True Mother is really taking full responsibility. That's why Mother said, don't worry about the future. As long as we are, fulfilling our responsibility, True Mother is investing everything now, doing everything. We just need also to do our responsibility, and then we don't need to worry about the future. Aju? Mother said, you need to make it so that such a world indeed comes to be. As blessed families who have lived in the same age as true parents, what should you leave behind? Lineage is important as are traditions. If we cannot help our future generations take firm root on a solid foundation, when could this world possibly become one united world centered on God? You need to make it so that such a world indeed comes to be. When spinning a top, you have seen that if you apply enough force, it spins for a long time, even when you don't whip it again. Haven't you? That is the way it should be for Korea and Japan. That's why Mother is, explaining here and using an example. Once you already, ibig sabihin kapag napag-umpisa na tayo, and then, it will just naturally go and continues kapag nakapag-umpisa na tayo. Especially, Mother also is emphasizing dito, lineage is important as our tradition. So actually, Mother is talking about the blessing Also kapag, yun nga, yung blessing culture, we could also build that. Kapag, especially in Korea, in Japan, it will just become natural. Kasi like in our country, kapag konti pa, yun, dumadami na ng dumadami. But if already more and more young generations are going to the blessing naturally, it will just become natural na for our young generations. It will just continue on and on. Right? Yeah, now, most importantly, especially for sa mga pioneer, yung pioneer, yun yung pinakamahirap eh. You're still setting up, but already there is foundation, we have already foundations, and then continue to expand, it will just become natural. Right? So really, lineage is important as our traditions. Kaya nga, the blessing where the lineage will continue, very, very important. That's why we are, doing a lot of, even IHQ, they separated the Bless family to Blessing department, really, so that Blessing department can focus, right? Especially our second generations also, everybody can go through. And then naturally, all those following will just, naturally follow. Susunod na lang yung mga younger generations. So this is really very important. Mother said you need to make it so that such a world indeed comes to be. So this is our responsibility for this to make it happen. Aju, kaya in our generation this time, yung mga susunod sa atin na generation, their course should be easier. And then they should be naturally just going through the path that we are setting up this time. Kaya nga settlement na naira ito ngayon. We have to settle well. Yung mga susunod, no more problem for those who will be coming after us. Aju, they will just go to the natural way kasi already the path is, clearly settled for them. We don't need, wala nang mga problems in the later on if we can settle completely this time. That's why Mother said you need to make it so that such a world indeed comes to be. So we are the ones who will make it a reality. So finally, Mother said, we need to educate them in such a way that the first thing that goes into their heart is the divine principle. You need to raise your children or second generations in such a way that the first thing that goes into their heart is the divine principle. And when they thus come to stand in a well-centered position where they follow absolute sexual ethics, you can even let them dance or do music. You still need to take care of them well until they reach maturity and receive the blessing. So that's why very important, we need to understand our role. Mother said, you still need to take care of them well until they reach maturity and receive the blessing. So yung responsibility natin lalong-lalo na as parents, until our children receive the blessing, that is the most crucial from their young age. Yesterday, na-share din nung speaker natin, the theory of education from the unification thought, very, very important. Kaya she reminded us again, from True Parents Teaching. The education of heart, that is the basic education of norm. And then, panghuli lang po, at the tip of the triangle, yun yung technical education. So that's why we shouldn't follow the way of the outside world. Na they are very competitive in terms of the technical education. Actually, that is the last one. That is on the tip. In order for us to really raise up really well-honed, young generations. Right? Mother is telling us today, ang mauuna raw for them that enter their heart should be the divine principle. It doesn't mean na kailangan natin silang turuan, mag-lecture tayo sa kanila ng divine principle, yung actual na lecture. Actually, it doesn't mean that way. The divine principle is, our life, right? So as we embody as parents, and then we will teach them. Kapag na-embody rin natin as parents, that's very important as parents. How to embody the divine principle. It's not only listening from lectures, actual lectures. Actually, it's not that way. Of course, we are doing actual lectures of the divine principle, but embodying this and then practicing this in our everyday life, and then our children will inherit this, then the divine principle will be the first thing that comes into their hearts. This is what Mother is telling us. So raising up our children, our second generation, in such a way that the divine principle will be the first thing that comes into their hearts. Truly amazing through Mother's teaching. More than anything else, right? So we don't need to pressure our children while they are young. to become number one in the class, to become, to compete. Of course, it's important, but it will just be natural later on, right? Most importantly, we need to know our focus, education of heart, that is the foundation. Education of norm, and then technical education, following the unification thought. That's why True Parents is teaching us. So later on, all these teachings should be in the education system of each nation. That's why this education should be in all our schools. This should be prioritized. Right? That's why based on this, dapat yung pan natin ng mga curriculum natin, mga programs natin should be based on this unification thought. Mother is telling us today that what should be the first thing that goes into their hearts should be the divine principle. Aju, truly amazing if all our children, our young students will going to go through this proper way. Can you imagine what kind of person they will become in the future? What kind of leaders they will be? With all the abilities and then with the parental heart. Can you imagine what kind of world we will going to have when our second generations that are educated very well in this way will going to really stand in the position, not only in our own, not only in our church, not only in our movement, in all sectors of society, even in politics in the future. Can you imagine? But of course, when Kingdom of Heaven comes, no more politics, right? But as we go through, can you imagine if these young generations, we raise them up very well in this such a way, wherever they will be, whether they're in the business, right, in the field of media, kahit saan po sila, if they were raised up and educated in this way. That's why our schools are playing a very important role. That's why we need to, study more our curriculum, make new curriculum siguro programs for our students, our children, that they can go in such a way that True Parents wanted. And we can really see great future. Aju, truly amazing. Our beloved True Parents, our second generations, they are truly the treasure. I was really moved with the sharing yesterday, when the dream, I couldn't really hear fully, but I could get the point. Because we were traveling that time, and yun nga, yung napanaginipan si Jesus, ano raw yung dream ni Jesus? Ano yung parang treasure, pinaka-treasure ni Jesus are children. Because Jesus couldn't have children, right? That's why Jesus' most precious thing are children. To True Parents are children. Tayo as parents, to Heavenly Parent, the children. So since they are the treasure, we have to really raise them up well, right? We need to educate them well in accordance to Heavenly Parent and True Parents' desire, not only based on our own concept and not basing on the concept of the outside world. My children need to become like this. My children need to become like that. They need to compete. My neighbors' children are all professional, are all like this. We shouldn't compete to our neighbors, to our outside people. We shouldn't compete to them. Of course, we wanted our children to become the best technically, but knowing what should be the foundation, we have to go through this way, right? And then our children will become the best in the world, in whatever field, wherever they will be later on. Aju, then Kingdom of Heaven will be realized. Having these young generations take the lead in the future in such the education that True Parents, set up for them to go through, then they will really become the great, children of Heavenly Parent and True Parents, and lead this world, lead our nations, lead all the people. Aju, truly amazing. So let's really offer our gratitude to our beloved Heavenly Parent and True Parents for this amazing guidance again today. Thank you very much once again, all our beloved brothers and sisters. Heavenly Parents, love and blessings be always upon you and your families. Let's have a great day today. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, our Sir LA, for giving us that guidance for us today, for reminding us as a second generation. Also me, I was reminded again of my portion of responsibility, how I can take how I can become more responsible in taking my responsibility. This time I feel something overwhelmed. If something reminded to my heart of my position as a second generation. I'm so much grateful and thankful to my parents, especially also to Heavenly Parent and True Parents, to my parents for allowing me, for letting me to undergo the formula course, to go in the front line, to understand the heart of true parents in the front line. Now, when our beloved national leaders shared about True Mother's story when she sold the helicopter to educate and train second generation, I was reminded myself that before, when I was once received that kind of scholarship of True Mother when I was in college, when I'm studying, and I was reminded that when I received that kind of scholarship, how I can become responsible to take my responsibility to educate also myself and understand more deeply the heart of Heavenly Parent and True Parent. This time I was reminded sometimes I have that kind of heart to go home already, to stop already, to stop my mission. But there's something in my heart telling me to stay and to continue. That's why I feel something sorry to Heavenly Parent and True Parent. Sometimes I have that kind of mind to go home and to work. But this time I was reminded again by our national leader about my responsibility as a second generation, how I can help also my other co-second generation to go back to their original position and to understand more deeply their value as a second generation. So thank you so much, Sir LA, for that guidance for today. So now, to hear some reflection. So may I call on our beloved, one of the leader and the Sabunim also here in NLTP. May I call on our Sabunim, Raymar de la Cruz.
Okay, naririnig po ba? Okay, once again po, good morning, Heavenly Parents. Morning, our beloved national leader, Sir Leo Angelo-Halog, and also all the leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. So, yun po, according sa topic po, how to educate our younger generation. So, first of all po, kailangan po bilang kuya po sa kapatid ko. So, kailangan po magsimula po sa atin or sa mga kuya na dapat kasi kung sinasabihan natin yung mga kapatid po natin na ganito, wag nilang gawin tong isang bagay na to, especially magbibisyo, pero nakikita naman nila sa atin. So paano ko po masasabi na kung talagang paano po natin ma-educate yung mga kapatid natin, pero mismo sa sarili po natin hindi nga natin ma-educate yung sarili natin, no? So for me, I'm so much thankful and grateful po kasi na-meet ko po tong movement kasi nung sa family ko po kasi hindi po kami wala po talagang nakuha sa amin kasi yung mga kuya ko, so even though grabe yung education na kanila, hindi sa education na na yung pag-advise or parang hindi ko na feel yung sa kanila kasi yung sinasaktan nila ako, ganun. And then experience nga yung education, pag-educate ng kapatid ko sa akin, hindi dapat through words and then dapat nakikita sa kanila, pero yung nakikita ko kasi yun, nasabihan nila bawal manigarilyo, bawal magganito, bawal mo na mag-boyfriend, mag-girlfriend. Tapos kung naman, nakikita naman sa kanila. So yeah, talagang nakakuan ako. Pero this time na-meet ko po itong movement, talagang mas kailangan i-train ko po yung heart ko bilang kuya na kailangan ako yung magiging model sa magiging kapatid ko or sa mga younger ko, especially sa pagka na-receive ko rin yung blessing So, paano ko ba ma-educate yung magiging anak ko or yung second generation ko in the future? First, kailangan ko po i-train more yung sarili ko. How to understand God's heart, and especially, kailangan ko pong i-train yung sarili ko, paano po ma-educate or paano po magpasunod. First, kailangan po makita sa sarili ko. Kailangan po ipakita ko po muna bago po i-command. So that's why I'm so much thankful and grateful po kasi through the guidance of Sir Francis, lagi niya lang nire-remind na paano mo ma-educate yung members mo kung mismo sa sarili mo. Ay paano mo ma-educate kung ikaw nga patamad-tamad ka, hindi mo kayang patulog-tulog ka. So talagang nagpapasalamat po ako kasi even Sir Francis talagang pinapakita niya po sa amin na talagang ginagawa niya po muna bago niya. So I hope na actually po nagpapasalamat po ako kasi sa leader po namin talagang nag-stand po siya na di lang kuya or talagang magulang. So actually po even though yung responsibility ng magulang ko hindi nila nagampanan masyado, pero dito po sa NLTP po, National Leadership Training Program. So ayun po, nakita ko po talaga din yung pag-guide po ng leader po sa amin. Even though strong, pero talagang marami po talaga matututunan po. Then actually po, nung nagkuhan naman po ako, actually po, nung hindi ko po na-meet tong NLTP, nung naging instructor po ako, kasi po, karamihan po kasi, nung nagta-training pa lang po ako, yung marami pong nagsabi, mga co-instructor ko na ganyan, pero deep inside nakikita sa kanila, and then, ayun po, sabi ko sa sarili ko, kung ano yung pinapakita, yung ano yung yung education, for example, magiging strong, ganun. Sa sarili ko, kailangan ko po talagang i-develop po. Kasi, actually po, to be honest po, na-invite ko po kasi yung bunso ko pong kapatid. Pero, yung kasalanan ko lang po, yung nag-field po kasi ako. Kasi po, nadala ko nga po siya nung nag-full-time member po ako sa Taguig. Nadala ko po siya. Pero nag-field po ako dahil nga po, hindi po totally talagang na yung life of faith ko kay God, yung ko, hindi po totally okay. So, ang ginawa ko po kasi, umalis ako. Sabi ko, dito ka, mag-train ka dito, train mo yung heart mo, magtrabaho muna ako. So, yun ang isang malaking nagawa ko sa sarili ko. Bakit sinabihan ko yung kapatid ko nun, pero ako nga, hindi ko pa nga na-train yung heart ko eh. Hindi ko pa nga So, much painful that one po. So, this time po, I really train myself po talaga na kung paano po talagang maging model as a kuya. So, and I hope po talaga din na sa training na ko, so I need more po lay foundation po para ma-invite ko din po yung kapatid ko ulit. So, yun po yung realization ko po sa Honda K today po. Thank you so much po and have a nice day po.
Yes, thank you so much, Sabonim Raymar, for sharing us your reflection and realization. Now, to give us more reflection, may I call on one of the Sabonim also here in NLTP Tong Ilmudo, our Sabonim Vincent Laguerta.
Good morning. Good morning to LA. So good morning, leaders. Good morning, elders. And especially good morning to families, brothers and sisters. So thank you so much for this opportunity to give us some reflection. So as I learned about the topic how to educate the younger generation. So for me, it's difficult. Very difficult to teach our younger generation because paano mo may paano siya matuturuan kung maging sa sarili mo is hindi mo nagagawa, di ba? So, I really believe the saying of Dr. Jose Rizal, ang kabataan ng pag-asa ng bayan. So, if there is no na mag-stand na parang isang leader, so ang kabataan is hindi siya ma-restore kung paano talaga ah, maging edukado, no? So, about naman po sa tinatawag natin educational. So, sa educational is not enough na matuto ka na sa buhay. So, kasi as my experience, so kasi po ang tinuturo lang sa akin that college level ako, how to visit credit because my course is entrepreneurship. So, as I learned nung time college ako is, yun lang po yung how to debit credit, how to balance income. So, yun na po because dahil nga po na hindi enough yung ganong pagtuturo. So, I joined na this kind of movement, no? So, dito ko lang po na-learn yung paano mag-stand sa bilang isang sorry. So, how to stand as one of a leader. So, yun na nga po, I received opportunity, naging black belt ako, so I take sa tingin mo. So, doon din nga po nagsisimula yung step na nag-giving leader. So, yun. So now, nag-training kami dito sa Bicol to Pioneer, so to restore this area.
Yes, thank you so much. So, nawala sa Vincent. So, thank you so much, Vincent, for your reflection. So, thank you so much for our national leader, for our brothers who give their reflections, for the guidance from our national leader. So, for some news and announcement, may I request the HQ? If there's any news and announcement. So there's none, there's no news and announcement. So for us to proceed, so let's have our closing prayer. So may I request Sabunim Marken Kabugnason to offer the closing prayer.
Time. This is my prayer. Yes, good morning, heavenly parents and true parents, heaven, earth, and humankind. Hey, friends and true parents, first of all, we would like to express again our deepest gratitude to you, heavenly parents. Now, heavenly parents, we receive a lot of guidance from your heavenly parents. Through that words, heavenly parents, we pray, heavenly parents, we put in actions, heavenly parents, to help our brothers and sisters, heavenly parents. I know, heavenly parents, a lot of young people, heavenly parents, you are doing just like nothing, heavenly parents, but as member of the family faith, heavenly parents, na we're here standing, heavenly parents, to help also, heavenly parents, that help also, heavenly parents, also, heavenly parents and true parents, who are so much lucky, heavenly parents, because day by day, heavenly parents, we have realizations in our life, heavenly parents, centering new heavenly parents, and heavenly parents and true parents. Also, we pray, heavenly parents, for everything, heavenly parents, especially right now, heavenly parents, we face again the situations not okay, heavenly parents, because of the pandemic, heavenly parents, but we still, heavenly parents, we working, heavenly parents, in order to educate our brothers and sisters, heavenly parents, to do witnessing, heavenly parents. Through that, heavenly parents, we can easily invite our young generations, heavenly parents, And Heavenly Friends, true parents, thank you so much to the parents, our national leader, Heavenly Friends. They're also working so hard with parents to help to, to become a prosper Philippines with parents. And thank you so much to the parents for everything. This I pray. On behalf of my leaders, brothers and sisters, Victor's children's name, Adieu.
Aju, let's have our individual prayer. Aju, Aju, Aju. Let's offer our good morning greetings to our Heavenly Parent and true parents, to our leaders, to our brothers and sisters. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone. Morning.
Good morning po.
Morning.
Morning.
Blessed morning, everyone.